What's good with the YouTube? You already know, Big Flocka with a convict's perspective, man. I got my boy Chango. How you doing, Chango?
Oh, good. How about yourself, bro?
I'm doing good,
Good,
brother.
good.
And so, in this journey that he's taken, that he sees himself free after over 20 years of being incarcerated, man. There's a story behind that, man. And it all starts at a young age. So we're gonna do a transition. We're gonna be doing some episodes where we talk about his life in little segments, the little intimate details and so forth. And then in between those, we're going to be doing the other episodes about, war stories and stuff that happens and opinions on different topics. But we want to start this first episode right now talking about Chango's early years. What he went through, what he experienced, what his feelings were, because I'm a firm believer that those initial years have a big impact in your future. So Chango, I'm going to leave this platform up for you right now to speak about your early childhood years, brother.
Yeah, I grew up, uh, actually I was born in, on the west side, and I ended up living right there on 2nd Street, and I ended up going to a low school. I think I was like first grade for the first grade. Then I had to move to the north side. If there's differences from my mom and my father, he ended up going to the Fed. And after that, I lost touch with him. Anyhow, I'm going to the north side, one of my uncle's house. They're there for, a couple of years, So maybe the 6th grade, we moved back to the north side, the west side. And anyhow, when I was, on the north side, there was a club, called Boy City I used to go to. Met a guy, good man, his name is Ray Caslin. We call him the king. Anyhow, his job, man, was, try to, guide us in the right direction,
Yeah.
I had, good memories there. Met a lot of guys there, ended up going to Back Rock right there on the north side, and started, getting into the sports there. In town, we're going back and forth because my mom had a shop right there on Willow Street in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows about it, like a lot of people know, a lot of homies know my mom, a lot of people know my mom. And at some point, I'm going to bring up that situation, because I hear a lot of people want to hear about it, and, I grew up, with my mom. She was a hard person, real strict, you know what I mean? And we didn't have no affection, you know what I mean? Yeah, we had food on the table, clothes on our back, but there's no affection, no guidance, she used to party a lot. She used to like to drink. And I'm not trying to throw the blame on her, you know what I mean? But I didn't have no guidance, and the only guidance I had was, at Boy City, which was, excellent place, and I started drifting off, you know what I mean? To the streets, things started changing when I ended up getting, had to go to school in the 6th grade. And I went to a school called Castillero. The whole time growing up, I've been around nothing but raza. And they put me into a white boy school, Not saying anything bad about it, but that's where things really started changing with me, And ended up, sitting there with, tagging, and getting into the hip hop scene, my homeboy Ed, my cousin Duke, you know what I mean? Homeboy Colors. I met a lot of people in that era, man, and it was interesting, it was cool, man, and the music, the popping and the breakdancing and all that. I wasn't good at none of that, you know what I mean? I knew a lot of homeboys. They know that my homeboy Brian Moreno, you know what I mean? he was a breaking dance dude, man. He's a good dude, man. And he's from the west side. But I ended up enjoying that. I was, tag, like everybody knows. It's tag. And then someone asked me what was my tagging name. It was Cindy. Uh, that's all I could do, you know. But I enjoyed that. But at the same time, I was trying to find myself. As time went on, I'm right there, at the center with another guy, Mondo, always trying to guide the homie to the right direction. You know what I mean? These are two guys that did their best, trying to guide the youth. But some was listening, some was didn't. You know what I mean? Obviously, I didn't listen. I started, getting involved, with the homies and, going down. Saying everybody from the west side knows me, and just, from the city of San Jose, as time went on,
When did you start getting in like real trouble, like fights and stabbings and stuff like that? When did that start to occur for you?
Well, see, when I was in the 5th grade, I had a situation with a Chino, and I used to be real isolated, from my mother,
Mm-hmm.
and she'd tell me not to get in trouble, and she'd be on my butt, you know what I mean? And one day, I had a situation with this Chino, and he was picking on me, and I was so like, with my mom always on me, telling me not to get in trouble, this and that, so the Chino ended up, hit me, and I didn't do nothing. And my sister ended up jumping in, and got into, help me with my battle, and went home, and my sister told my mom, and hey, that ain't happening, man. Man puts hands on you, you gotta do this, you gotta take care of your business. Well, after that, man, you didn't tell me nothing, man. Like I said before, I wasn't a tough dude, you know what I mean? I won some, I lost some, I've been jumped, I've been stabbed, and then so I started in juvenile hall, you know what I mean? When I went to juvenile hall, when they ask you where you from, you tell them you represent, where you from there? Right side, homie, you know what I mean? From that DHS gang, baby. And, there's, a lot of discrepancies of, whether I'm from here, I'm not from there. Through all my life, when you're tagging world, and it wasn't that. Listen, I'm not here like to glorify anything. I'm telling you a story of my life. Bottom line is, everybody knows me, you know what I mean? So that's how I started, as far as a young man, But, like I told you before, I had these, the king, William McCaslin, trying to guide me. And then,
Why do you think that you were so resistant to taking heed to the advice or suggestions? Like how are you personally feeling? Like what gravitated you towards the fast life?
Just when I look at it, right, I was influenced, looking around, just the lifestyle, like we talked about before, you and I, about I created this character.
Yes.
That's what it is, you know what I mean? I wanted to be a bad dude. Yeah, I didn't want to be a lawyer. I didn't want to be a doctor. You know what I mean? I want to be a fella. I want to be around the homies, you know what I mean? And that's what gravitated to me, you know what I mean? Like they say, fast cars, fast women.
What,
you know what I mean?
When did you finally realize you were going in that direction, though? Like, there's a threshold when you cross those tracks and you already know, okay, I'm going that direction. When did you know?
Probably, sixth, seventh grade, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just the environment that I was, being in the neighborhood, being like, me and my cousin Ed, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just running around, And again, I've been, being around people, around everything, my environment. That's what it was pulled into me. You know what I mean? And just it was
You know,
it was
were you involved in any of the early clashes between with West Side Mob?
oh, oh, of course. I was right there in the beginning. Matter of fact, again, much love to Jesse
I know
and his
Jesse.
crew. You know what I
I
mean?
know Jesse. Jesse was a good
Yeah.
dude.
I had a situation, man, and on King and Story. You know what I mean? Like I said, I knew Jesse. You know what I mean? Before all that. You know what I mean? But I had a situation with Jesse and the Mahias. Beto and Frank the back. We were at we're on King and Story, right there at the 7-Eleven, and seen Jesse and everybody, and just popped off. Me and a couple homeboys, we ended up taking off on him, and I ended up breaking one. I think Beto's brother or Johnny. I don't remember who it was, but ended up breaking one of their arms. Jesse running, scared. He had him under the car, scared to death. I mean, it was a mayhem. You know what I mean? But like again, that was a part of my past. As time went on, just to let you guys know, me and Jesse, we're always cool. But then when after that happened, it got squashed and all that. But like again, these are things from my past. And again, I'm not trying to glorify. My whole thing is I'm trying to give you a message. You know what I mean?
But what I'm trying to figure out is how did you feel about that? Did that make you feel better? I mean, what direction were you feeling that made you? You know what I mean?
When I was doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. I felt. I'll be honest with you. I want to be accepted. Like who doesn't want to be accepted? You know what I mean? So I felt by doing things, I'd be accepted by my peers,
Yes, sir.
at the time,
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people how they feel, because I was there, I lived that life, man. And like I said, it's part of my past, you know what I mean? And no one can take that from me, you know what I mean? Those are memories, like I told you, a lot of things were, I look back now, now that I'm older and in my 50s, and I look back and it was some bad things, bad times, but I had a good time, that there at Boy City, taking at the park, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Big Black Park, just
Cinco de Mayo cruising.
Listen, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, man. Just the vibe, bro. The fairgrounds.
Fairground. Yep.
The Cinco de Mayo.
Music in the park.
Bro, going to the fairgrounds and doing the things, and the graffiti area, that area, man. To me, those are good times, man. And it's unfortunate, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That I had to, I chose that path, but like I told you before, I didn't realize it, but I see, talking to other people that know me for a long time since I was a kid. See, man, my path was laid out for me already, you know what I mean? And not even realizing it,
Yeah.
But,
What did you first go to juvenile hall for? Your first case?
Oh yeah, on assault,
Yeah.
Oh, and I got the assault, and I had paraphernalia.
Okay. Yeah.
I had a pipe. Of for a weed pipe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a assault for I had a baseball bat hit one of my mom's boyfriends.
Oh shit.
And so I went off on that. You know what I mean? Going to juvenile hall all the time. You know what I mean? That's when I started meeting a lot of people too. You know what I mean? From different types of homies from different hoods and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
And you said Paul Farfan took a liking to you. You said, right?
Yes, at the time, you know what I mean? He was as far as in the game, a big influence on me, you know what I mean?
And how old were you?
You know, when I was in my teens, man, you know what I mean?
Young, huh?
Before, yeah. Like I told you, I was with one of his nieces or cousin, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, but,
That was a different time era back then, man. That was like, it was red on red, of course, you know what I mean? No one spoke about the NF, you know what I'm saying? But it was all be about game banging or having fun. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can see now why it was so easy to gravitate towards it, you know what I mean? But it's the cost of, doing time, severe, being away from your children, all those things, man. I mean, you don't think it when you're a kid that's the path you're going to lead. You know what I'm saying? You don't think you're going to be in the feds for 20 years. You don't think you're going to be in and out. You don't think you don't think all this when you're like a young age. You think everything is going to be different with you. You know what I'm saying? Because you could at a young age you could already pick and choose who's really going to be soft, who's going to be with it, who's just going to do enough to get by and probably go on with their life. And the ones that always get affected the worst are the ones that really have those problems. I see, like as far as the home life, the feeling isolated and so forth, man. And they find that outlet. You know what I'm saying? And when they find that outlet, it's like it triggers something. It's like an addiction almost, man. And the more you start to do things, the more you feel better about yourself. It almost seems like, man. I mean, that's from my experience.
No. I agree with you. I mean, you've talked and you had similar situations, in your childhood.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of homies. There's a lot of people, man, that had situations growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether having issues with no father in their life, mother issues, whatever it be, man. But
now, did you ever have any personal rivals as a kid back then? Like someone like everywhere you guys went, you guys were always bumping heads.
Whoa, bro, you open up a whole can of worms, man. I had a homie, right?
Yeah.
Not even a homie at the time. His name was Fernando. You know what I mean? Fernando Duran, you know what I mean? From River Street, and, man, bro, for some reason, man, he didn't like me, bro, and it was all because of a girl. And like I told you before, man, I wasn't really, I always had problems talking to somebody. I always had problems because of the girl. Listen, bro, I've never been a cock blocker, bro. I've never, like I said, I'm not innocent. I dip and dab in, dealing with females and all that. But I never fight for a girl. I don't, homeboys want to fight me because I was with the girl, I was with this. But it didn't, sometimes it didn't happen like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyhow, we beef we see each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we just go at it, you know what I mean? It got to the point, the whole River Street boys, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Always all cool, his little brother, they used to tag too, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They used to be part of DA, that was homeboy Ty, Color.
Yeah.
That's a solid ass dude, man.
Yeah.
To this day, I still talk to him, man, and it feels good. But anyhow, that's one of my rivals. But you know what? The good thing on that, bro, me and Fernando, man, that time went on. We did our last showdown, on Winter Citrus,
St. Clair Street? Or
was
Monterey?
No, off was it 18th Street, Roosevelt Park, right across the street?
Yeah.
Yeah, his homeboy, his cousin, it was called homeboy Nano, you know what I mean? Tony Tapia, and we squashed it, man, and then after that we started being cool, bro. You know what I mean? I can tell you incidents after incidents, but again, it was just a part, everything, and a lot of times it's our misunderstanding, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that, man. I agree.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, bro, like I told you before, I made amends with mine, you know what I mean? And, whatever happened in the past, man, if I, for some reason, did something wrong to you, there's a lot of people that we can't come to terms, and we squashed a lot of stuff. But there's guys that I never got the chance to squash. You know what I mean? For whatever reason, you know. But if for some reason I didn't that I hurt you or did something wrong to you, or you know, I want to apologize. You know, and you know, hopefully, you know, whatever happened in the past, just leave it in the past. And you know, again, I be a man and step up to the plate and apologize to whatever I've hurt. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. That's part of your recovery. That's part of your rehabilitation, brother. Okay, I think we're gonna cut this. I think we're gonna cut this one short for today. Not short, but I think we're gonna cut it right here. We're gonna be going in, we're gonna be mixing up. We're gonna be going back and forth to different topics, but also coming back to his transition. This is his transition right now. And when we get to the last episode of his transition, it's gonna be about what finally clicked for him. You know what I'm saying? What was his solution and where he is today? But I think it's more important that we focus this on in little segments instead of just running it one story, because otherwise we're not able to elaborate enough information. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I just want to, you know, thank everybody that, you know, supported me, you know what I mean? You know, for me being, you know, in prison this whole time, you know what I mean?
Yes,
And,
yes.
And also, you know, just be conscious, you know, of your surroundings, and there are people out there still doing their thing, man, you know, I mean, you know, be careful, and I wish you the best of luck, you know.
One more thing real quick I want to add. What was your relationship like with your mother and your father at a young age?
My mom, okay, you know what, me, I was young. I was real young, so as far as with my father, so I didn't, you know, he was always at the bar. He was always, you know, he was a hustler, you know what I mean? So I didn't really get to see much of him, you know what I mean? But my mother, you know, we had a good relationship in the beginning, you know what I mean? I mean, she did her best, you know. I can't take that from her. She put food on the table and put clothes on our back, you know what I mean? And supplied her, but you know, just she didn't. We can all the materialistic things in the world can't change the fact that it's important for as a parent that I learned now is that it's important for you to, you know, give cariño, you know, love, you know, and try to like guide your, you know, instead of, you know, push them to the side, you know what I mean? But
yes.
it was good in the beginning, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it wasn't bad. I started having my different feelings towards her, you know, when I was like, I think 13. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
well, we're gonna eventually probably. I think when we discuss that situation, I think we're just gonna do the whole full rundown up to it. You know what I mean? When we eventually get to that in the future, when you know what I mean? 'Cause a couple of people asked, he's gonna get to that story, his truth behind it, and I think we're gonna just that one. I think we'll just elaborate all about everything that led up to it from when you were born up until it happened. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think that's the way that we're gonna knock that one out. Anyways, anything else before we end this episode?
no, that's it, bro. Hey, thank you, bro.
Oh, most definitely, man. I'm pretty sure someone needs to hear this, man, because there's someone out there that, you know, maybe either they're a kid or they're maybe 19, 20 years old out there, man. They're on the fence, maybe having their first kid, man. These are the type of stories you guys need to hear, man, to rethink your choices. See, we all have a choice, and sometimes we tell ourselves we don't, but we do. You know, we may not get everything that we want in life, but it doesn't mean we have to continue to make bad decisions after bad decisions. With that said, it's your boy Flacco, Chango, we're out.